Welcome back to the CIO Water Cooler. Today's topic is navigating the AI gold rush, strategies, risks and rewards. And to bring that subject to life is Oleksandr from Sigma Software. So could you tell everyone watching a little about who you are and what you do?
Yes, hello everyone. Oleksandr from Sigma Software. My background spans between the change management and regulatory compliance. And in change management, I was specializing in implementing the new ways of working and the new processes within large enterprises. So driving the operational excellence programs and cultural shifts. And then I changed my occupation to the regulatory compliance, contributed to building the enterprise-grade quality management systems, information security management systems. And well, if you ask at first glance, these two areas doesn't have anything to do with each other. But in fact, this, diverse experience has provided me with a good foundation to act in my current role as an advisor at the Sigma Software's Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, where I support AI initiatives across the organization. And why am I saying so? The combination is valuable because of, if you think about what AI projects in enterprise are, it's more about the transformation of the process than the technology itself. Implementing AI actually requires more of organizational change efforts than the technological implementation. And the other point to consider is that balancing innovation and compliance is crucial. AI brings immense potential. That comes without saying, but also it has to be developed with clearly defined risk and regulatory guardrails. Secondly, balancing innovation and compliance is really crucial. AI brings immense potential. No one challenges that, but it must be developed with a clearly defined risk and regulatory guardrails.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. So much I want to talk with you about because we're now 3 years into this so-called AI gold rush. We've seen the hype. We're now starting to talk about things like ROI of AI projects. What benefits are we bringing as AI matures? I've got to ask, where are enterprises at with AI right now?
Great question, Neil. Before we jump into the details, I would like to briefly revisit how we got here. The AI hype cycle was triggered by the public release of GPT 3.5 in November 2022. And yeah, we are 3 years into it. And what I have to say is that of development stalled. It's relentless. We see major breakthroughs occurring every single week. Key advancements include inference optimization, which leads to computing cost reduction. That means that enterprise AI projects becomes closer to profitability with every single step. AI models have more of a multimodal capabilities, meaning not only text to text, but speech to text to speech, text to image, image to video, and so on and so forth, allowing for richer interactions and a wider number of use cases. One of the most important things that are advancing is the improved reasoning capabilities. This comes with the so-called chain of thought technology. And here, I think we have to look at it very, very closely in the coming weeks and months. So, looking ahead, it's a kind of a playing with a god because you only, can be right in one specific scenario, but there are so many things that can go completely differently. But what we can see and hear from the world's top experts, including the heads of OpenAI and Anthropic, is that most of them are at least very seriously considering that artificial general intelligence, meaning the models with the reasoning and cognitive abilities that are on par or higher than the PhD level human, could become a reality within a few months. So let's see if it lives up to the reality. Yeah. And despite of all of this immense progress that I have mentioned, we see that the full-scale enterprise AI transformations still remain rare. So I'm asking myself, why? And I'm convinced that the issue is not about the technology and it's more about the change management. The enterprise AI adoption must follow a maturity model, which I call crawl, walk, run. First, you implement the assist function. So you allow the AI to support human workers, like knowledge retriever, for instance. Then it's augmenting human at the workplace, enhancing decision-making and productivity. And only then we can talk about automation, eventually some mundane repeating processes can be fully automated. Skipping foundational steps leads to failure very often, and this we see very often from the customer inquiries. Enterprises are willing to start with automation, AI automation. We try to convince them this is not the right way. Okay, if they're not convinced, we help them running the proof of concept. They have high expectations, but without a clear return of investment and business case at the end. Yeah, and then they see it's quite a weak business case, and AI is solving problem, but not to the full extent they expected. And when initial results fall short, projects are abandoned, leading to stop transformation. No one wants to repeat the failure. However, we have quite a few very successful use cases that I would like to highlight.
Yeah.
Firstly, the corporate knowledge bases. I think this is so far the strongest use case for most of the organizations. Essentially, this is a corporate chatbot that is using the RAG technology to get all the knowledge of enterprise. And that allows employees to, instantly access internal procedures, policies, best practices. Imagine, you're new in an organization, you don't need to go around and ask your colleagues about a specific point on how you're going to organize your vacation, administration of the vacation. This chatbot can help you out. The key challenge here, of course, is you need to have a well-categorized, well-maintained data, and it has to remain well-maintained. The second use case where I see a lot of potential is service technician assistance. We have had several such developments where AI helps technicians to quickly retrieve the specification, the bill of material, the repair manuals. Imagine you have a service technician that is going to maintain a specific network tower in a specific place, and he can ask, instead of going through all of the technical specification, the chatbot about what he should bring with him to this tower in order to serve it. Yeah, and it will be able to help him out. Saves a lot of time for the preparation. Another good case is legal document analysis assistance, supporting the compliance and risk management teams. Identifies key clauses, potential risks in contracts, summarizes. The latest models are really good in the writing full contracts. So I think that the legal professionals are in significant danger these days. One good case is note takers and transcription tools. Very high demand, especially in regulated industries like banking, healthcare, where personnel is constrained by a huge amount of bureaucracy. Last but not the least is the project assistance. This is something that we have developed for ourselves. It's essentially kind of a corporate knowledge base, but condensed into a specific context of a specific project, which makes it so much easier to communicate with as if it was a project buddy. So imagine it assists with the onboarding, status reporting, problem solving.
And one of the big takeaways from listening to you there is just how much AI has matured. We're really entering this maturity phase now. And that can be seen everywhere with the rise of governance and regulation. We've seen everything from the EU AI Act, the UK AI Act, the US recently doing something slightly different there. What's your opinion on these trends? How do you see this taking shape?
Well, everything stays the same under the stars, yeah? US innovates, China replicates, and EU regulates, yeah?
Yeah.
When it comes to AI regulation, different regions are definitely taking a very distinct approaches. The US innovates very rapidly. They prioritize growth, technological advancement. China aggressively replicates. They actually closing the gap more and more, so that it's exciting to see how the AI is resonating when solving the problem at hand. The EU takes a cautious regulatory first approach, focusing on the responsible AI through the EU AI Act. I would categorize the AI related risks into 3 time horizons. There are immediate risks that stem from already available AI models. Those are so-called CBRN threats: chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. And with the current level of technology, it is absolutely feasible that one person, one malicious actor, could leverage the AI to access previously completely restricted information. We would be fools if we would think that there wouldn't be malicious groups that would develop something like that already now. Another immediate risk is, of course, the bias in the models, and also the risk of a human right violation. Then there are near-term risks, and if we make an assumption that the technology will evolve linearly. Yeah, we don't speak about the exponential development that we have seen in the past 3 years. Even with this development, we can expect to see a significant job displacement due to automation, and that will definitely lead to some social economical challenges. People will lose their jobs. Job is the primary source of purpose for many of us. And what will happen then? I mean, the AI will take our jobs, and who will then own the AI, and who will own the profits from the AI? That can lead to the power concentration among those who own and control the AI infrastructure. And then there are long-term risks. Yeah, and this is more of a philosophical dilemma, thinking about if we reach a super intelligence or artificial super intelligence or ASI that is smarter than the totality of humans, how are we expected to be aligned with our values? It's as if we would try to attempting to align a god to our values. That would never work. So in response to these concerns, the EU AI Act, it came into force in 2024. It takes a phased approach to tackle those challenges. And in February 2025, we had a ban on the unacceptable risk AI systems, the systems that use subliminal manipulation techniques, biometric categorizations, social scoring. It's not allowed in EU any longer. In parallel, there is a requirement now on the literacy, meaning that deployers, developers, and the users of the AI systems need to know their functions, their shortcomings in order to use those systems responsibly and efficiently. In August 2025, there expected to be a publication of a code of conduct for general purpose AI systems. Then there will be a phased approach, August 2026, some high risk AI systems, August 27, 28, all the way until August 2030. On a positive note, even though we don't see efforts from the legislation of the US and China in terms of compliance, tech giants are taking significant efforts to self-regulate. You are able to now see the responsible AI frameworks from AWS, Microsoft, Google. They start considering at least the risk that stem from the AI.
And it feels like that this ongoing battle between innovation and regulation and compliance. How do you manage that balance at Sigma Software and hopefully get that right?
So yeah, earlier this year, we have created the Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning. And we try to have a balanced approach towards AI. So of course, it is very important to innovate. And we try to do that bottom up, meaning we give the employees empowerment to come up with their ideas. This happens through the hackathons. So we have a process of quarterly hackathons to keep up with the progress of the technology and identification of new use cases. And then we have a monthly expert work groups where our machine learning experts are sitting together and discussing where are these very practical, low risk, high reward opportunities. So far, as a result of those efforts, we have been able to launch several successful pilots. This includes AI-driven compliance audit assistance, saves a lot of time on the summarization of audits. Project Buddy, that I have described a bit earlier, already running in the 3 development teams in our organization, and the legal assistant, so that helps with the contractual agreements. But there is not just innovation, there is also a compliance topic that needs to be uncovered, and we have created a dedicated governance council. That's consisting of professionals, cybersecurity team, legal, and compliance representatives. And their goal is to set up the AI guardrails and also develop the AI policies. Actually, I have to say that our AI policy that was developed by this team was already successfully tested, stress tested, and enforced. When during one of the hackathons, it was discovered that one of the participants was using AI tools that were unauthorized during the ideas contest. So yeah, we're recognizing that AI evolves and the compliance frameworks also need to continually adapt. And I guess the new challenges for us will be to see how the agentic AI will challenge our policies.
Great to hear such a positive example there. And we began our conversation talking about this thirst or appetite for the ROI of every tech project, of every AI project. And I think that focus on tangible benefits is now more important than ever, because only when people can see this is the difference that it will make to my business will they begin implementing any solutions. So I'm curious, from what you're seeing, are there any examples of the kind of rewards that are on offer if those AI implementations are done right, and the kind of things that they can unlock, whether it be opportunities or something measurable, a real measurable impact? What have you seen here? Anything you can share?
Many enterprises are struggling to define the return of investment on AI projects. That definitely leads to analysis paralysis. I think, like I mentioned before, that approach to the AI project should start from the change management. Don't invest more into implementing AI that you invest into solving specific problem at hand. What I would do, and what I do with my teams when participating in the workshops, map specific existing process that you want to improve. See where inefficiencies exist and try to see the use case for the AI helping you out with solving those inefficiencies. Then run a small scale pilot, POC, very short static data, simple model, don't overinvest, validate it. Then show this as a business case to the stakeholders at the table. See if it is aligned with organizational goals, and only then scale up. One important consideration, it's not only about the hard ROI, so-called pounds or dollars saved. It's also a soft ROI. We are talking so much about the aging of a workforce. So we know that the millennials, the largest generation ever, is on their way out to retirement. And think about every single worker that you lose, the breadth of knowledge that you lose. So AI can help you with that. Preservation of institutional knowledge is one of the strongest use cases that you can have with AI. Reduction of a cognitive workload. We as humans are only able to make so many decisions per day. Increased job satisfaction through automation of mundane tasks. That can lead to the higher retention rate. So think outside of the box. It's not only the pound save, but also so much more. One consideration that everyone has to have in mind is with AI. The AI models, they tend to have a model drift. It's when the model that has been fine-tuned to the specific environment, due to change of environment, is not able to predict the statistical patterns any longer. So for this reason, it's very important to continuously track the return of investment. It is important to have the team in place that will be retraining the model, that will be performing the adversarial training. This is the kind of training to ensure that you feed into the model the adversarial content and see that it becomes more robust. But also the cybersecurity team has to know how to run the penetration testing of applications, for instance. It's very important. Well, the golden rule for me, start small, think big, and iterate often.
I think that is a powerful moment to end on. There we have it. Covered everything in the AI Gold Rush: strategies, risks, and rewards. So many big talking points, and a lot more that we could be talking about too. But just a big thank you for starting this conversation today.
Thank you, Neil. All the best.
And we will continue this conversation at the CIO Water Cooler live event on the 18th of June in London. If you want to find out more details, please check the description to this video, and please check out other videos and subscribe if you want to see more of the same. But other than that, hopefully I will see you all at the CIO Water Cooler event in London.